Good morning, King's
Good
Cathedral.
morning.
My name is Johnny DeRay. Here is my lovely wife, Rami. What an awesome worship that was.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining us this morning. We have a great topic. It's a continuation on Black history, but we're going to dive more into Black professionalism and how the corporate America can help with producing Black success in the corporate world. So take this opportunity if you have yet to do so, share this button. Hit the share button on your screen and share today's service and message. You will not regret it. Your friends and your families will not regret it because it's just going to be a great topic today.
Mhm.
We have a guest that's going to be able to just provides so much knowledge. And it's not just because he's read books. It's not because he's been to school, one of the top university. It's not because he works for a Fortune Global 500 company, but he's also done the work that he's talking about.
Right.
I'm excited about
Mhm.
today. I'm excited about interviewing one of our own partners in the church. So please welcome Minister, my brother in Christ, Raymond Mills. Minister Ray, if you can join us today, so we can go ahead and get started on this topic
Yeah.
today.
Hey,
Hey, good morning,
good
my
morning.
brother.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hey, Remy. Hey, Johnny. What's up? Thank you
All
for
right, how you doing?
inviting me to this, or giving me this opportunity to, share with the church as well as
Mm,
those that are tuning in. Great. I'm grateful for that for sure.
absolutely. No, we believe that the amount of knowledge that you have is really amazing, and it should be shared with those folks that can really benefit from this.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that we shouldn't be able to keep it to ourselves,
Right.
and we really should be sharing. So I think today is going to be an awesome topic, an awesome discussion.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so
Yeah. What do you think corporate America can do to help celebrate Black History Month?
Oh, my goodness. Uh,
I'm sure there's a lot, but
right.
exactly. But I honestly think when it comes to corporate America and Black History Month, there's a mixed perception. Some people believe that corporate America shouldn't be involved with Black History Month, and there are some that believe corporate America should have a lot involvement. And I think when we consider the post George Floyd or the George Floyd incident, right? A lot of companies a lot of companies took a different stance on what it meant to work with our Black professionals and
Mhm.
the uprising of Black professionals. So when I think of Black History Month, I definitely try not to make it about the past as far as slavery and all
Mm,
those type of things, but let's do some celebrating, right? But also let's do some I guess the word rejuvenating, right?
mm,
Taking the opportunity uh, to work with our Black professionals or seeing the success from that has been part of the past, but also trying to figure out how we can come to the table and help elevate or push that success going forward. Uh,
mm.
Right.
I don't want to dominate the conversation because this gets me excited, but you know, when we think about corporate America and you look at actually, I sent the slide over right before this. If we could get that slide on the screen, I think you'll definitely help out. So there's a report out right that came,
Mm,
and a lot of companies what they've done post the George Floyd situation is they've made a commitment to really help with progressing Black professionals in corporate America. And
Mhm.
one of the prime things that they did was trying to have an initiative as far as signing up more Black professionals or hiring more Black professionals. But that's great and that's fantastic, right? But it
Mhm.
right,
doesn't really help solve the disparity problem when it comes to housing and wealth, right? In those
right,
gaps.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So in this slide, there's a couple of things I definitely like to point out. So when you look at the middle percentage, the 38% Black millennials leave corporate jobs to start their own venture. There's this
Mm,
concept that,
wow.
and I'm sure it'll ring home with a lot of the audience, right? It's hard to be what you can't see,
Right.
it's hard to be. We even noticed it right when President Barack Obama as president. It was hard to imagine a black person being president, right? Even with our current VP, right?
Right.
It was hard for a black female to imagine that happening, but now we can see it. And
Right.
so we when we look at corporate America and the disparity as far as when it comes to black professionals as CEOs and senior executives, what can the company do about that? And I think Black History really gives corporate America the opportunity to not only celebrate Black professionals in their own organization, but also help with spreading awareness when it comes to Black professionals.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That is so
and
good.
I feel like the George Floyd incident was kind of like a wake up for a lot of companies to be like, how can we fit into this? What can we do about this? Would you think that, Minister Ray?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. And I think whenever I think about the George Floyd situation, I still to this day cannot get past the whole knee on the neck thing and the symbolism that comes behind it, right? At my job, I consider the black female the unicorn of corporate America, right? Because a lot of things have been done when it comes to diversity and inclusion. And the reality is most white females benefit from diversity and inclusion programs, not the black female. And so there's the percentage on the screen there that says 41% black female professionals now have never have substantial interaction with senior leaders about their work, right? And you think about that, and when it comes to programs that companies have, I like to liken it to pillars, right? You have these certain pillars in your organization that really stand out to you and that you really want to make part of your company, versus programs where when it's time for us to save money, we're cutting programs. Yeah. When we look at what happened with George Floyd, a lot of companies started to open an eye to see, hey, we need to really bring some awareness to the struggles that are, as most companies say, the most important asset, right? Because if your black professionals at work aren't okay, they're not going to be able to put forth their best effort. Right. And chances are you're not going to hit that margin that you really need to hit so that your stock goes up. So how can a company really make that change, or that the effort to really support their black professionals is key.
Right. That's so good. That is so good. So what are some things? I mean, you've noted some important points, especially when it comes to the success of black professionals. So what are some things that you are doing at your place of work to promote the success of black professionals?
You had to go there, right?
Listen, you shared all this information, all of these statistics. Come on, we got to get to work now.
well, you as the Bible says, right? You have to put your hand to the plow, right? So I think it's hard for me to imagine. Cash, you can take the slide off the screen for me, but it's hard to imagine how your colleagues. When you're sitting there with your colleagues and you all share the same frustration, it's hard to sit there and not do anything, right? So what I've done is I remember being up all night one night. It was I probably didn't get to bed till like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm just sitting there figuring out what is it that I can do. How can my role be effective here at my company? And I just sat there looking at what other companies were doing, and I was like, why don't we have this? Or why aren't we doing this? So one of the things I did, and I did tons of research, and if there's anyone that wants some of the research that I've done as far as black professionals in the corporate America, definitely shoot an email. I'll have Cash put there it is right there. Bang. You can hit me up at my email. My man's ready. But, being quick, because I know we don't have much time, but one of the things that I helped out, actually there's several things, but first, before I even get to that, one of the keys in having people around you to help push you, such as Lady and Bishop, is, in sharing some of the ideas that I've had. They've encouraged me through their wisdom to put it not only on paper, but to also surround people around me that would help push the plan. And also some of the elders contributed to that help as well. And what I wrote on this paper, actually, Cash has this slide too. So Cash, if you could put that slide on there for me. Yeah, so I came up with these two plans, right? And one is the leadership development cohort, and the other one was the senior leadership mentorship. And there's stats on the screen as far as how either a mentorship or a cohort can really help bolster the career, not just of Black professionals, but anyone. And so when we look in corporate America, we have these things called the 3 E's: education, experience, and exposure. And so when we look at those 3 things, and you look at on the previous slide that I had, where it was only 3.2% Black professionals held some sort of senior leadership role out of the Fortune 500 companies, the question we must ask ourselves is, why? How is that possible? Right. Is it education? Right. Is it experience? Is it exposure? And so the thought behind these two pillars, because we're not using programs, but the thought behind these 2 pillars is to help with education, to help with exposure, to help with experience. And it has blown up, right? It's blown up to the point where we're chopping it down at my job, and we're trying to put it into different segments. So how can we incorporate this into existing programs so that we can have a W? And then how can we, not a W, but a quick win, right? So we can catch people that are going through these situations now, how we can bolster their career. And then also, how can we help out the people so that there aren't those that are left behind, such as, Black professionals that are newly coming into the company. How can we help them? So we're doing all types of stuff, such as employee scorecards, right? Where you have you highlight these Black professionals. And one of the things that happens in corporate America, and I apologize if I'm dominating the conversation.
No, this is good. This is helpful information. I hope those that are watching are able to take some notes. This is really some really valuable information. So continue on, Minister Ray. This is very helpful.
No problem. So one of the thoughts that we tend to hear is, or one of the comments that we tend to hear is, I can never find Black professionals qualified. Well, we know that's a lie, right? The problem is the problem is people don't know where to find them. So when it comes to that, it's generally because of lack of exposure. So Black professionals, they're not in those meetings with senior leadership, because most people that benefit from those type of programs or pillars, if you will, would be those that look like them. So I don't have the stat with me now, but or the slide with me, but I think it's about 77% of hiring managers hire those that look like them. So when you look at those that are applying for jobs, they're you look like me, therefore we have similarities, therefore you're going to be able to mimic the type of behavior that I expect. So how do we get Black professionals into those interviews? Instead of having one-on-one interviews, maybe we should be having panel interviews. And so doing type of things and initiatives like that have really taken off, where, we're not just doing leadership and mentorship or cohorts and career mentorship type of things, but we're really trying to expand this vision. And that's the point of having allies and people that really want to help Black professionals succeed, is they can take what you've already had and help apply it to other areas. And it's great. It's great.
Right. Wow. No, this is a wealth of information. Oh my goodness.
At the surface.
Right. We haven't even brought the shovel out to dig deeper, man. So this is some good stuff. Again, I hope business owners that are watching, employees, if you are watching, I hope you are able to take some note from this information. Bring this to your leadership. Bring this to your board. This is really some helpful information to bring some encouragement to your professionals in your place of business. We have to end right now. However, we are going to continue on this discussion. So you can tune in hopefully later on and listen to the second part of this discussion. But we are going to send this over to Elder Victor so he can talk about our giving portion of today.
Yeah.
We hope this information was helpful for you all. So thank you for joining. Thank you for listening.
Again. And thank you, Minister Ray, for your wealth of knowledge.
Yes,
No problem.
absolutely. Thank you.